Hi everyone, my name is Pele Renata and welcome to my YouTube channel. For today I decided to make a card, and as a base I am using Slimline double layer paper pack from Art by Marlene. And as you can see, I am putting a rather thick layer of texture paste. It can be any texture paste that you have at hand, it really doesn't matter. Now, as you can see, I have these little card looking texture plates. I don't really know how they are called. I got them in my local hobby store, but I know something similar they sell for cake making as well. Anyway, I'm using them to make an imprint on this thick layer of texture paste that I placed. Now I will dry this with a heat gun, and as you can see, I have achieved a rather interesting texture by overheating my texture paste until it starts to bubble up. If you don't like this effect, you can either be more careful with your heat gun or just leave your texture paste to air dry. Now for the next step, I have sprayed my paper with some water, and over it I am spraying one shade of blue Distress Oxide and the other darker shade only towards the edges of the paper. I am trying to let my paint drip only on one side of the paper, and after it I will just dry it with my heat gun. Now, as you can see, a lot of paint stayed on my glass mat and I felt sorry for it. So I decided to scoop up this paint with Art by Marlene die cut paper tags, which I will later use for some other project. As you can see, my fingers got very inky from the Distress Oxide ink sprays, and now 2 days later I still have the paint on. So if any of you know how to fix that, please tell me in the comments. Anyway, for the focal image, I have colored one of the unicorns with the Prismacolor pencils, but before adhering it I wanted to add some more details to my background. So from the same stamp set called Unicorn Dream, I chose these two sets of stars, and I am stamping them with the black archival ink. And as you can see, sometimes I stamp my stamps as they are, but sometimes I use a little paper to mask certain areas of the stamps, so the pattern wouldn't be same all over the paper. Here I am stamping just the other star stamp. And after this I decided to color in these stars. For this you can work with any acrylic markers, either Posca or Karin markers, or even Art by Marlene acrylic paints. When you are making a page or card, to make it more cohesive, it really helps if some color repeats over multiple elements, including background and focal images. As both of my stars and unicorn have this yellow color on it, I decided to add it to my half circle. But I didn't want to fully color it, I just wanted to add it something like a glow effect. So I am holding my brush pen as horizontally as possible without applying pressure, so only more textured parts would actually catch the paint. Okay, now time for the sentiment, and mine comes from the same stamp set which I used so far. But I was worrying, since my background has these darker elements, that the quote won't be as visible. So to remedy that, I decided to heat emboss it. For heat embossing I have used Versafine ink in black color and clear embossing powder. And I think this helped a bit with the visibility of the sentiment. The next thing that I did was to adhere my paper to the black card base provided in the Slimline double layer paper pack. And you know, how can you make a magical page without adding some glitter? And I chose to work with Art by Marlene Special Effect Glamour Glitter in gold color, and I am applying it on my stars, but also on this half circle that I have already made. And did you notice something? I actually didn't put any splatters, but now I felt like my background is missing something, so I used the Art by Marlene acrylic paint called Lace to add these little dots. And I have put them as randomly as possible so they actually end up looking like splatters. The last step that I did was to adhere my unicorn using some foam tape, and I think he fits rather well in this half circle that I made. And that's it for today. I think this texture effect together with the glamour glitters turned out really pretty, and I hope you like it too. Thank you all for watching. Please feel free to like and comment on my video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you all for your support and see you next time. Bye!